surround myself with little characters like this because it makes me feel safe. So I'm gonna try to surround you with them tonight to make you feel safe, okay? So this is my winter sloth. He's not super soft, but just soft enough, and he has a couple stains on his scarf. My pet rat had dragged him under the bed, and she not saying if you're in like this really dangerous situation that you're not going to be running for the exit and getting out of there. I'm just saying that it's going to be pretty easy to figure out that there's a real threat and something's going on, right? And sometimes you'll be able to actually stay calm in order to get yourself out of that situation. Think back to when you possibly had a small kind of threat, like you were on the highway. This is a personal experience for me, and a car kind of swerves over and almost hit you, so you swerve out of personal toolbox that maybe you can add to yours and will help you in the future. Of course, we're all on different paths in life, and so what works for me may not work for you. But that's what's kind of unique and nice about being a human, is every day we get to learn and try new things and see what helps, see what doesn't. So keep that in mind, okay? So I'll give you some more things that maybe will help. Something I learned recently that I've been thinking about a lot when I start to feel that fear for the future, right? And I start assuming the worst of what can happen. I heard this little, I don't know where I heard it. I think I heard it on Instagram or something, but she said, we overestimate what's going to happen to us, and we underestimate our ability to deal with it. Now, of course, I saw some comments of people saying, well, something really bad did happen to me, so that's not true. Well, it doesn't apply to everything. It more applies to someone with anxious ruminating thoughts like you and I, right? If we're constantly worrying about what's happening and we are thinking of the worst case scenario, that's not going to happen, because something like 80-90% of human suffering is in our heads and not actually tangible. So there's a really good chance that that bad thing, to that extent, is not going to happen. There's a good chance it's not going to happen at all, never mind to the extent that we're imagining it. And we're imagining it that way in an attempt of preparing ourselves to keep us safe, but it's actually hurting us, ironically, right? So we create this whole scenario, maybe several scenarios of the worst case scenario, right? And we feel very scared, very fearful, and we picture ourselves crumbling from that and losing this or losing that. And then we underestimate how strong we truly are. We don't remember all the times in the past that we've been through these things and we got through it and we're still standing there and we're here despite it all, right? That's a poem as well. That's really nice. deserve.